Excited to be joined by none other than Dianna Agron! So excited that you're here, girl.
Thanks.
So congratulations on Café Carlyle. This is great.
Thanks.
So what do you got in store for that performance?
So this is a 2-week run versus the last one was 5 shows. This is 10. So I just thought, bring a bigger band in this time. Gil's returning, and my dear and so talented friend Gil Landry, who played with me last year. And so now we have a full band. We have, orchestration, violins, pianist, horns. Basically halfway through the show, or maybe one of the last shows, we had our friend come along who is an amazing trombonist, and we were playing House of the Rising Sun.
Oh my God, such a good song.
Oh my God, hearing him at the bar. So halfway through the song, he starts playing, and it's that like, da 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 da.
What a dramatic song to do that.
I know, and people are looking, where's it coming from? He kind of slowly walks to stage and takes his moment. It's amazing. So now that we have a full band on stage, it's nice that you can kind of play with the drama, and that space is just so wonderful.
It's so perfect for it.
Well, describe the space. People don't know.
It's 90 people in this room, so you can make contact with every single person in the room, and people really go with you on a journey, kind of whatever music you're presenting. The last time and this time is very centered in 60s, 70s. Last time it was all mostly, Dylan and Cohen and the Stones, mostly songs sung by men. And this time I'm flipping it. It's kind of the counterpart to
I love that.
Are you paying tribute then to female artists in a sense?
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely think this is just the period that I love. I love all that music. The orchestration is complicated, and it's just so beautiful. And it was the music that I grew up listening to. So yeah, this time it's like Marianne Faithfull and Nico and Nancy Sinatra. There's a couple of like bigger and punchier and kind of more playful songs. Last time it was a bit more serious. This time it's kind of like,
And I feel like those intimate shows are honestly the best ones, because we go to like these giant concerts all the time, or like Ariana Grande or whatever.
You can't even see them.
You can't even see them. You lose that. So with the 90 people, it's so much better. But based off of, you were mentioning obviously some of the songs are changing. You're adding, more people in the orchestra. Yeah. But based off of the time that you did it before, what things are you going to do a little bit differently this time?
Well, I think kind of how I mentioned with that last moment of like, you understand how, coming with this knowledge of how you can play the room and kind of, the drama that you can build in that room, and I don't know, maybe I'll end up singing on one of the tables at the end.
Yes, I would love that. Coyote Ugly.
Can you imagine like step, the table buckles, and then
I would love that.
People would love that.
Yes.
Yeah, and then just the hotel. I remember the first time I stayed there, I was 21 and I was going to my first Met Ball, and there's just like, it really is kind of this cast of characters that either live in the hotel or work for the hotel. It's very Wes Anderson-y.
It's amazing in that regard, yes.
The art on the wall, like the history of, Bemelman's bar, and that, it's scenes from the park when there were actually sheep in the park, but, the artist that did all the Matilda books. So, it just like every part of the hotel is beautiful and interesting, and to be a part of, what's happened historically in that room and play it, it's kind of a dream. I'm very happy they asked me back.
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you prefer the smaller venues to be able to make eye contact with everyone there, or do you also like the big performances?
Because I know Countess Luann says she only does the small performances.
Yeah, I do. With Glee, we toured, so at the end of the second tour, I think we played the O2 2-3 nights, so I know what that feels like, and that's incredible in its own route, but I much prefer that smaller setting. I feel like more than 300 people in it, it's just like, you're
Everyone
part of
blends
something
together.
big, but it's a different type of adrenaline.
Right.
Totally. Who would you love to be collaborating with, or have them come up on stage and perform with you?
Tom Waits is.
Oh, it would be amazing.
Obsessed with him. I feel like maybe I have 2 avenues at some point, because he acts as well, and he's incredible.
Right.
So that could be fun.
Tom Waits would be an interesting collab between the two of you, because it's almost like he's got like this dark, gritty side to him. You're like this perfect angelic being, so it's like this like that's what I think we're telling everybody.
That's what Baker thinks, at least. Well, how would you describe your?
That's what I'd like you to think.
To that point, how would you describe your aura, your persona? What are you trying to get across on stage?
God, I don't know. Like last time when I was, talking about the show and interacting with the phone, I had people repeatedly tell me how funny I was. And I thought, well, aren't I funny every day of my life? But I remember I was like, thank you, but also like, am I not? All day long.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I just really enjoy that opportunity to kind of tell stories of the year and kind of, I don't know, like every night is a different night as well. So it's just very interesting having that experience at the same venue, because in other times you might be playing a different venue every second night. And traditionally that's how, when I've done performances, that is how it is. So it's nice to kind of be in and around the hotel and just kind of pick up on what's happening that day and kind of go with it on stage.
Now, of course, we know you from your amazing character on Glee, which I loved that show so much. We had Jane Lynch on a few months ago.
Yeah.
And she said that show was just so perfect for that particular time of when it was airing at that moment, because it was just this conversation about people were having about bullying, about LGBT kids, and so many other things. It was just like this perfect moment. I feel like now is also a perfect time for a show like Glee. Do you feel like Glee would be perfect on air right now?
I do. Well, and I mean, I never watched anything contemporary when I was young. I kind of wasn't allowed, and then I was so in love with old musicals and I Love Lucy and Bewitched, etc. But I remember I wasn't even allowed to watch Saved by the Bell.
Oh, really? Wow, what's that like, not growing up without Saved by the Bell?
I don't know, but I mean, I think that was a very wholesome show.
Yeah, it was.
Like maybe dealt with subject matter in a similar way. And but anyway, I would have loved to have a show like Glee on in the air. And I mean, I think there's always time to talk about those things. And for me, there's always time for a musical.
Oh,
I
agree.
I grew up obsessed with musicals. When I first moved to LA, I remember I had this agent and I was like, well, I'm so excited for my first musical audition. He's like, what planet, like what year do you think this is? And then, cut to like, look at what has happened in this space in the last couple of years, La La Land and A Star is Born, and you like see the surge. It's not just on Broadway, it's not just in the West End. It's
Totally.
like, people have that appetite and I'm so happy for it.
You're so 100% right. I feel like in this time, like we want something super cheery and uplifting. I feel like musicals are bringing that to people right now, and that's why we're seeing so many of them out there right now.
Totally, and they're not always happy, but the power of music, my God. I think it was J.M. Barrie who wrote Peter Pan said, if you can't teach me to fly, teach me to sing.
Amen.
I agree with that.
That's great.
Like
That's gonna be
such a sweet.
Yeah, that's gonna be the bumper sticker on my car here soon. Actress, singer Dianna Agron. Of course, she's gonna be at Café Carlyle from January 22nd till February 2nd. Get your tickets. It's gonna be amazing. Dianna, thank you so much.
Thank you
for
so
joining us.
much
Such
for
a
having
pleasure.
me.
We also have food if you want some.